I need you to stop and take 60 seconds of your day to learn about an important social justice issue. At a facility trying to treat severe autism, staff is using a device called a graduated electronic decelerator. They strap a 12-watt battery to the patient's back and place electrodes on their legs, and staff shock the children. And the shock is quite painful, might I add. The staff claim to only shock the patients when they're exhibiting behaviors that are harming themselves or harming another person. But that is just simply not true. In 2002, Andre McCollins was tied to a restraint table and shocked 31 times for refusing to remove his jeans. In 2007, another student was shocked 77 times in just one night because the facility had received a prank call instructing them to do so. Still think that disability rights aren't relevant? Wake the fuck up.
Do y'all remember that one social experiment where a white man had an assault rifle walk down the street with it? Someone called the police on him. The police showed up. One police officer showed up, asked for his ID, and he did not give the ID. He said he didn't have to. Police then went about his way. A black man took that same gun, walked down the same street. Someone called the police. Several police officers showed up with their weapons drawn, ready to fucking shoot him. These cops come from the same police department, which means they received the same training. With that being said, why was there a different approach? Why were they more cautious of the armed black man but not the armed white man? Bootlickers will be blocked and your comments will be deleted.
This is my official statement. If I am ever found dead or I end up missing between today, April 29th of 2021, up until you find me or I am missing, my ex-boyfriend is the one who killed me or kidnapped me. I just got done with my court trial where I filed a no contact order against my ex-boyfriend and the judge threw it away. He physically and emotionally, mentally abused me for 2 years, and he also has a weapon. And if people ever wonder, if any of you ever wonder why victims of domestic violence or rape or assault do not come forward, this is why. Fuck the justice system and everybody a part of it.
No matter what we do, they're gonna always hate us. It doesn't matter how nice you are, or how proper you speak, or how much you just want to be their friend. And I just feel like I shouldn't be here. Because I don't like making people upset. And I can't understand why. Nobody takes this seriously. What racism is doing to my mental health. I don't want to be here anymore. I know I have to stay for my son.
He hasn't been decontaminated yet! Jacques!
Oui.
Clean in!
Oui.
Ocean!
Ouh, la mer. Bon. Voilà, he is clean.
Can you tell me with words what you need? Is there something in there you want?
Yeah.
Okay, can you use your words and tell me
Mama,
what it is?
Me,
What is it that you want in there?
balls.
Do we keep the bars in the fridge? Where are the bars? You're wanting a bar?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for using your words and telling me what you want. Should we go find one?
Yeah.
Okay, show me where they're at. You found them?
Yeah.
Can we finally address the fact that black on black crime does not exist? Please. Now, I know that sounds crazy to you because you're so used to hearing that bullshit contrived term that was only created to further justify the oppression and slaughter of black people. But calling it that implies that there is a racial motive behind it. There is not. It's literally just crime. Darnell did not kill Tyrone because he was black. Now, does that make it right? No, but let's not compound two important issues to deflect away from police brutality. Please step your cookies up, ma'am. And one thing I know, two things for motherfucking show. Darnell will be convicted and we will not have to march or protest for it. Why? Because black people are always held accountable, whether we deserve it or not. And it won't take a video. Really? Oftentimes, all it takes is the flawed testimony of an eyewitness to convict Darnell. Can you say the same thing for Officer Dumbass?
Let's talk about why I'm never going to force my kids to share. If my daughter doesn't want to share her giant pack of bubblegum with her sister, I'm not going to make her. Even if her sister had been sharing her Airheads with her earlier in the day. And if they're at the park playing with kids who are lovely children, but they don't want to share their toys with them, I'm going to guard those toys with my life. Because my kids need to understand that they have consent over themselves and their belongings. They also need to know that no matter how nice someone is to them, they don't owe them anything. And listen, I don't want to share. I don't want someone coming up and taking my iPhone away from me. And I sure as heck do not want to share food. And the other day when my daughter didn't want to share her bubblegum, she came up to me later and she said, "Hey mom, can I get my bubblegum box? I need to do something." And she went and gave her sister gum. Anyway, because she wanted to, because she had a choice, because it made her feel good, not because she was told to.
So we've all heard about sundown states by now. Sundown cities and towns. Since the state itself can't be a sundown state. But that is changing. Now that Oklahoma is passing a bill that will allow them to basically criminalize holding police accountable, the entire state will become a sundown state. So, before that bill passes, I highly advise that if you know a person of color living in that state, that you pool your money together with all the family and friends that you can and help move them. Get them out of that state before they all end up getting killed, because that is what their goal is. And any state that decides to go along with this same line of thinking and criminalizing the recording of police, they are planning on making that entire state a sundown state so that they can kill every black person or colored person.
If you leave stuff like this on people's front door or their car, I just want you to know that I am absolutely praying to our dark Lord that you find a timely demise. I hate you.
So it was culture day at my daughter's school and I had to dress her up as something from her culture. So I dressed her up as a basic white bitch. It went over really well.
Blind react. So I'm going to give you a second to stop and prepare to blind react to this. If you received this, it's because somebody wants you to know that no matter what life throws at them, you're important. You're loved. And even if you guys are fighting and you think that you can't talk to each other, this person wants you to know that no matter what, you can always reach out and talk to them. If there's one thing that I've learned recently, it's how fast life can change and how quickly people can be taken away from you. So duet this, share this, tag this, whatever you need to do, send this out to people so they know that no matter what, they're appreciated and loved by you, because tomorrow is never promised. I love each and every one of you guys, and I hope to see this shared and spreading positivity and love to those that you love, cherish, and cannot live without, whether it's 10 years, 20 years, or 150 years.
Our government has proof that three competing extraterrestrial civilizations have been using this planet as a laboratory for genetic manipulation for at least 270 million years. And I said, well, 270 million years is before the time of the dinosaurs. And he looked me straight in the eye and he said, one of the three competing groups made the dinosaurs.
Yeah, I think I'm done with this hiding. Got my ass in the air like moon rising. Felt awakened when she went inside me. Got these feelings that I am done fighting. A sigh of relief every time that she speaks. We end up in the sheets when she reads my tea leaves. The siren of the night when she's grinding on me. Now I can't leave, cause my legs are feeling so weak. She calls me baby, battle little freak. She's really on a feeding frenzy. It's much more than a seance with a friend. And when we're in the dark, yeah, the real fun begins. She whispered some kind of new incantation, and I knew that I was never gonna be the same again. She said, call me what you want, call me what you need. Call me in the moonlight, call me Hecate. Yeah, call me what you want, call me what you need. Call me in the moonlight, call me Hecate. Yeah, call me Hecate.
You know, I think I figured out why they don't want to release that body cam footage. Here's some newly released footage of the cops rolling up on Andrew Brown Jr., released from a security camera nearby. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we all know what that looks like. In response to this video, the FBI has opened a civil rights investigation. It's the least they could do. When does it stop?
Russian sway a word of a day. Just follow me first and learn Russian with me. If you want to say piece of shit, you say kakashka.
Let's talk about the new infuriating law that Alabama senators voted on called the Vulnerable Child Compassion and Protection Act, SB 10, which prohibits gender change therapy for minors and prohibits withholding of certain information from parents. Which means that people have the right to out you to your parents, which you know is very dangerous and life-threatening for LGBT plus minors. What is so outrageous about this bill is that it is a felony, punishable to 10 years in prison and a $15,000 fine for medical professionals to treat trans youth under the age of 19. Yes, you heard that right, a felony. Murder is a felony. How is this on the same level as murder? Not being able to get gender-affirming care is very traumatic for trans youth. Did you know that 60% of trans youth and non-binary youth self-harm? And more than half have seriously considered suicide, and 1 in 3 trans youth have attempted suicide? The numbers are way too high. Trans youth are more likely to commit suicide than cisgender youth because of lack of support, gender dysphoria, feeling invalidated, and now laws being created that are transphobic.
Sadly enough, after all this information's coming out about Anthony Brown Jr., The Guardian actually released an article this morning about an international investigation that started back in January and how they found the U.S. in violation of human rights violations. I thought I'd break down this article a little bit, listing everything that they found and like what the consequences will be. And as it says here, in a devastating report running to 188 pages, human rights experts from 11 countries hold the U.S. accountable for what they say is a long history of violations of international law that rise in some cases to the level of crimes against humanity. These were the 3 big bullet points here. One was violating its international human rights obligation, both in terms of law governing policing and the practices of law enforcement, including traffic stops targeting Black people and race-based stop and frisk. I'm going to part 2 this. I'll put it in the comments.
So we want an order of the quesadillas.
Okay. Quesadillas.
And 1 enchilada.
Bueno. Una enchilada.
The fajitas de polo.
Fajitas de pollo.
Can we get a side of whack-a-mole with that?
Eres estúpida. Voy a guacamole en un momentito. Por Dios. Bueno, guacamole.
And a side of frijoles.
It's frijoles, you freaking mole!
I want to remind you that speaking up about mental health is not attention seeking. People die every day in silence. Then motherfuckers want to say, oh, well, I wish they would have spoke up. Oh, you do? Fake ass bitches.
As a therapist and also an abolitionist, the comments under this video literally break my heart. The fact that people are so afraid to go to therapy because they know that if they tell their therapist that they're suicidal, that there's a really big chance that that therapist might report them and that a mental institution is going to be their only option. Well, this is the thing, is that the fear is actually rooted in reality. Mental institutions are essentially an extension of the prison industrial complex. The way that they use shackles, the ways that they force you into isolation, the forced medication, the ways in which people can be physically restrained, all of these are extensions of what happens to people in the dehumanization process of prisons. A therapist that is committed to transformative justice and abolition will never see reporting you and sending you to a mental institution as the only option in the face of crisis of suicidality.
Right
Press. Cardi don't need more press. Kill them all, put them hoes to rest. Walk in bulletproof vest. Please tell me who she gon' check. Murder scene, Cardi made a mess. Pop up, guess who, bitch? Pop up, guess who, bitch? Ding dong. Must be that whip that I ordered. And a new crib for my daughter. You know a bad bitch gon' spoil her. Got one in New York, need one in Georgia. New Bentley truck is a quarter. My money still long like weed. Pussy still wet like Florida. Everyone drop on the floor. She was talking, but not.
Mental illness be so funny because there be days where you just like a kiki, life is fun, it's all a game, clown shit, shits and giggles, ha 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 ha. I want to throw myself onto I-95 right now. If I was in a moving car and had the resources to just onto the highway with me, off with my head, bibbity bobbity boo bitch. I'm Houdini. Thanks. My bad.
30 transphobic bills recently passed by Republicans put 45,000 minors in danger of self-mutilation. Biden took office and issued an executive order making it clear that gay and transgendered people are protected against discrimination in schools, healthcare, and the workplace. Conservatives in power are retaliating by finding every loophole possible to disobey this. Respected Professor Haydir Markel said that overall Americans have become more supportive of transgender rights. But sociology studies reveal that conservatives are able to make arguments that appeal to people who quote-unquote don't have an understanding. The American Academy of Child-Adolescent Psychiatry says that there's no evidence that gender-affirming hormones can harm children. Puberty blockers are simply reversed by not taking the medication anymore. Expert Dr. Michelle Hutchison said that since the bills have been passed, 4 young people in her program have attempted suicide. The Republicans pushing these bills are saying that they're just trying to protect the children. It's funny how you all say facts over feelings and then don't listen to statistics, science, math, or sociology.